talking about some video game news like I usually do on Fridays on my video game news recap. So let's jump right into it. Big news this week. Kingdom Hearts 3 launched on Tuesday, and it started off pretty well. I saw the 86 Metacritic, which means that it's pretty good, and if you are a fan of the series, you should probably pick it up. I usually look for like 90. That means like I gotta buy it right now. So not quite there, but if you are a fan of the series, I would probably recommend picking it up. Like I talk about in my email, I've always been a big fan of the series. I haven't played too much of the series because I didn't own a PlayStation prior to PlayStation 4, and I believe Kingdom Hearts was a PlayStation exclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I have watched a lot of my friends play it, and I've always enjoyed it. You know, running around with a bunch of Disney characters, exploring Disney lands, no pun intended, and, you know, fighting monsters or fighting Disney characters in a button mashing game always seemed fun to me, but I have not picked it up. I'll probably wait on this one. Not that I'm like giving it a score or I think it's bad or anything. It's just I've got a few other games that I want to play before I get onto this one. But if I find myself with some spare time, I probably will pick it up. And yeah, I just think that the series has been a pretty good game. Like I said, I haven't played too much of it, so if you think I am able to jump into it, feel free to comment below. But I've seen the 1 hour long and longer lore videos explaining to me what's going on in the series, and and I don't know if I can just pick this one up and know what's going on. Not that I care much about. Well, I do care about the story, because if things are just going bonkers, then I don't know why, then I will be concerned. But I will eventually pick this game up, I think. But if you do, feel free to comment below and tell me what you think of it. Cool. So that was pretty much the games that launched this week. My main story is usually whatever games are launching this week. Kingdom Hearts seems to be the big one. After that, we got GameStop. So GameStop has been looking for funders, for people to fund them for a long time. And I believe this week they announced that they are no longer looking for funders and are probably just going to fall to their death, and their stock plummeted after they made this announcement. So it pretty much is sounding like GameStop is dead. They managed to purchase ThinkGeek a while back, and they meant to doll up their stores for more like clothing and retail, but I don't know. I'm surprised to see it on its way out. I don't think the physical business is doing that bad that I think that GameStop can't keep up. Pretty much because I think they're the biggest video game distributor as far as video games are concerned, or retailer as far as video games are concerned. And I don't think there's anybody in contention for that. I wonder who's going to eat up GameStop's share, or if people just aren't going to buy games because the place where they buy is their local GameStop. But yeah, I wonder what that means for the overall industry. It's freaking crazy. Yeah, they went from being pretty much the lion's share, like a mass majority share a couple years ago, to now I guess they're dying to digital. I didn't think they would be the first one to stop putting video games on the shelves, but I guess the other retailers have the benefit of being able to diversify, considering Best Buy, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and all the other physical retailers that sell video games. You know, they have a diverse set of stuff, and GameStop only sells video game memorabilia, as well as games, which probably is going to be their main source of income. Yeah, I'll probably stop by a GameStop just to like pick up pop vinyls that are probably like, closing down sale kind of stuff. But yeah, super crazy. GameStop no longer looking for funding, and they're on their way out the door. I wonder how long that'll take. Probably a year or two, depending on, just looking at the Toys R Us's and Blockbusters of the world that, didn't all close down at once. I assume mall-based GameStops, if there's any of those still left, are going to go out quicker than the standalone, lone building GameStops that are kind of in a strip mall parking lot somewhere. But crazy to think GameStop's on their way out. Besides that, Madden, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but Madden ran a simulation of the Super Bowl, and it is Super Bowl weekend this weekend here in America. And they ran a simulation of the Super Bowl, and they have concluded that the Rams will beat the Patriots 30-27. That's crazy. I for one am rooting for the Rams, or well, I would say that I'm more rooting for not the Patriots, but that's not true. I am rooting for the Rams. I had a family. My grandfather used to work for the Rams, so that was. So the Rams are one of my birthing teams, and they are here in LA where I am. So yep, super big fan of the Rams. I do hope they win the Super Bowl. I'm glad that Madden predicted them to win, but with a prediction via simulation of 30-27, I'm not going to start counting my chickens yet. But super crazy. If anybody's going to make a strong prediction, I do think it would be Madden. I think they have a lot of really smart statisticians that work at Madden to make their models, their simulation more strong, I guess. More strong. Wow. Bad. But I do think they have a lot of data that they can pump into the game to make it predictive. I wonder if they ran it 1,000 times what the outcomes were. But if they only ran it once, then again, I'm a data guy. So if they only ran it once, then it's not a foregone conclusion. What else happened this week? Anthem, besides all the fallout of the VIP demo that happened last week, they definitely did not do well with the infinite load screen bug and the joining on friends and the motion blur in the tower. Anyway, didn't go well. They had a little bit of falling action from that, and now they have their open beta, which means that even more people are going to get their hands on it, and I hope it's a better build than this one was. But even crazier than that is the EA tweeted out this week a chart, a matrix of when do you get to play Anthem and which edition of the game you bought, and it was just nuts. And so what is it? If demo access, okay, so everyone who pre-ordered gets demo access. Early access of the full game is only for Premier Origins members. What else? Play first trial, 10 hours early. You want to play it 10 hours early, then that's for EA Origins people only. And then if you, what is it? Just nuts. Just freaking nuts. How hard is it to just be early access for these people, not early access for these people? It was crazy. Just explaining to that was painful. And they tweeted it out in a freaking matrix that just, I wrote as a snide comment after this in my email that this is how EA kills, they kill everything else. This is how EA kills early access, is they just make it way too convoluted and it's too crazy, and they're gonna freaking muck up the word early access until it is freaking dead. I don't know why I'm so passionate about early access, because I don't really care, but it's just so asinine to go through this whole rigmarole of who can play when and how and who and why. It's so nuts. I don't understand what goes through your mind when you plan out these things. Just give one group of people gold skin, one group of people silver skin, and everyone who pre-ordered gets to play a day early. How hard is that? I mean, I know that the cost for doing it. I don't know. I don't know if the cost for early access is lower than it would be than creating assets. I know assets are expensive and they require more people and more man hours, but manning servers, and making sure that people are gated at the right place, that takes manpower too. So I don't know if it's a financial move to just chop up your freaking player base into early accesses. it's just nuts. I don't know what to say. I'm completely flabbergasted. And it was just a tweet. It was just a tweet in a matrix, but it was just so dumb. It's really dumb. That's all I have to say about it. It's just really dumb. And I wish they could get it together. I'm gonna play the game regardless, but this does not lend itself to like good community building, or yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm done with Anthem. I'm done talking about Anthem. I hope you play it this weekend. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to play it. I would play it with you. Feel free to comment below, and we can play Anthem together if I don't have a full squad, which is gonna be hard to find because I think a lot of people are being turned off by all of EA's antics. Why am I freaking sidebarring on Anthem? I don't mean to take this much time to talk about Anthem. Hope you play it. Hope you have fun. Tell me your thoughts below. This week we also got a big gameplay look at Rage 2. We got about 16 minutes of gameplay coming from GameSpot. God, I hate it how close their names are. GameSpot put out a 16-minute playthrough, and it was like titled "Combat is Awesome When You Get There," and it did look like a tedious slog when they were playing through, but when they got to the combat, like the aesthetic feels very kind of Borderlands-y to me. Not quite cel shaded, but like the vibrant colors and walking around with a gun, I don't know, just kind of reminds me of Borderlands. And then the shooting feels like Doom because it's a Bethesda game, and Bethesda games are going to feel like Bethesda games, and Bethesda shooters should feel like Doom because that's one of their best shooters. Looked like fun. It might have even piqued my interest. I don't know what else I'd be playing in May, so I might be picking that one up too, just because I like first-person shooters that allow me, with RPG mechanics. Looks cool. But I hope I don't get bought. Well, I guess I wouldn't mind a slow burn, like story-driven shooter, because I don't get a lot of those recently. I haven't gotten a lot of those recently. So I guess I wouldn't mind Rage taking its time, but I also want to run around and shotgun people like I'm Doom Guy, but in an open world RPG. So should be fun. Looks good. Tell me what your thoughts are on Rage if you saw that gameplay trailer or any other things that you might have saw about it. Last but not least, Chaos Bane. Chaos Bane is a Warhammer. It's a game set in Warhammer, Warhammer Fantasy, the Games Workshop IP, and it is pretty much Diablo to a T. It is Warhammer Fantasy. It's Warhammer Fantasy top-down isometric RPG, and it's a hack and slasher like Diablo 3 is, or like Diablo is. Looks cool. Anybody who's watched knows that I'm a die-hard Warhammer fan. I have played fantasy. I've even played Lord of the Rings. I've played 40K. Just die-hard Warhammer fan. I love all the games. I love seeing Warhammer IP everywhere. So yeah, the game I saw, I don't remember how long the gameplay was coming out of GameSpot, but it looked like fun. I pretty much knew what it was after a minute. I was just like, oh, this is Warhammer Fantasy. This is Warhammer Fantasy IP plus Diablo. Great, I'll play that. Yeah, hoping to see more details on how the characters are done, which characters I can play, and all that jazz. But super cool. Looks like fun. Super big fan of the Warhammer IP. I don't know how many times I can say Warhammer, but Warhammer, yeah, looks like fun. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me if you like Warhammer. Tell me anything you want. Write it in the comments below. Hope you appreciate this. This has been the video game news for February 1st, Friday, February 1st. Yeah, hope you have a good weekend. Go Rams, and thanks for stopping by. Bye!